Good morning, everyone. We are here today to discuss the key challenges faced by Malaysians in managing their finances, as well as the strategies that can be implemented to address these issues. To set a clear foundation for our discussion, we will begin from an education perspective, as financial habits are often shaped early in life. Our aim today is to understand the issue thoroughly and agree on a clear direction moving forward. To keep the discussion focused, I kindly ask everyone to keep their points brief and relevant.
Thank you, Zuno. From an educational perspective, the root cause is a literacy gap. Many Malaysians enter the workforce without practical skills in debt management, leading fresh graduates into a gradation trap of high debt before their first paycheck. While we have theoretical lessons, we lack applied education on real life challenges. Without fixing this education gap, we are only treating the symptoms of the crisis, not the cause.
Alright, that points to an early gap in preparation. Amza, could you expand on how these financial habits ripple out to affect society at large?
How about issues in money management? Bad money management directly affect family dynamic and general well-being from a social standpoint. One of the primary causes of rheumatic strife, mental health problems, and even divorce in financial stress. A culture of lifestyle comparison and social pressure that promotes overspending and living beyond one's means is also prevalent in many places.
Thank you, Amza. Nabila, taking it a step further, how does this issue impact the economy on a broader scale?
Thank you, Zunur. So, from an economic angle, poor personal money handling can have deeper impacts on the country's economy. Over time, financial stability is affected by high household debt levels, especially those caused by personal loans and credit cards. For instance, when many individuals rely heavily on credit cards to cover daily expenses, they may struggle to repay their debts, leading to higher default rates. Financial instability then affects productivity, savings rates, and the sustainability of the economy as a whole, as people focus more on debt repayment than long term financial growth.
Thank you, Nabila, for highlighting how poor personal finance can ripple out to affect the economy as a whole. It is clear that what starts at the individual level can have a broader social and national consequences. Having identified the key challenges, let's us now move on to potential solutions. Let's look forward to strengthen practical financial education, community-based financial support and awareness programs, and policy measures to manage household debt.
Okay, I'll start with financial education. We need to move beyond textbooks and introduce digital gamification tools that simulate real world scenarios, like managing a mock salary against actual KL living costs. The challenge is teacher readiness. Therefore, I propose a public private partnership where banks provide the training modules and guest mentors. This ensures content matches modern realities like digital banking, turning theory into actual financial resilience.
So you just started and I like Arif's ideas. Then I will propose a second one. So the community-based initiative can have a significant impact on society. Public awareness campaign, peer support groups, and workshop can all aid in normalizing discussion about money. Overcoming stigma is difficult since financial difficulties are frequently seen as individual shortcomings rather than common social problems.
And last but not least, policies that promote prudent borrowing and saving are crucial from an economic point of view. This includes controlling the availability of credits, offering reasonably priced financial goods, and supplying long-term savings incentives. However, if they are not carefully planned, tough rules may restrict access for lower income populations.
Thank you everyone for sharing these insightful solutions. We have explored practical financial education, community-based initiative, and policy measures, and it is clear that each approach addresses different aspects of the problem. At this stage, I would like us to consider how these proposed solutions can be made feasible in practice. Successful implementation depends on strong collaboration between government agencies, financial institutions, educational bodies, and local communities. As discussed earlier, isolated interventions are insufficient. Strengthening practical financial education must be supported by social structures and reinforced through responsible economic policies. With that in mind, Nabila, could you further clarify how feasible this approach is within Malaysia's existing education infrastructure?
Feasibility-wise, the education infrastructure already exists. Financial literacy can be integrated into current curricula through co-curricular programs and digital platforms. The main hurdle is standardization, as content quality may vary between institutions.
That's where public-private partnerships come in. Banks and fintech companies can provide standardized real-world modules and simulations. This reduces development costs and ensures the content stays relevant to modern financial realities.
If you guys ask me, and I would like to say that I agree, but educator readiness remains a challenge. Many teachers are unfamiliar with practical finance. Short-term training and industry workshop will be necessary to make implementation realistic.
Apart from that, this approach is cost-effective. Compared to debt intervention policies, preventive financial education requires lower long-term expenditure, making it a feasible and sustainable solution.
Thank you for those perspectives. At this stage, our discussion moves from analysis to decision and action planning. Let's now focus on commitments and agreed directions that can translate these ideas into real world programs. Before moving forward, I would like to confirm our shared understanding. Do we all agree that this integrated approach represents the most balanced and impactful way to improve financial management among Malaysians? Arif, could you start us off?
Yes, Zuno. It addresses the root cause by equipping individuals with practical, real-world financial skills early on.
And again, I agree because it empowers individuals to make informed decisions and reduce long-term financial vulnerability.
Yes, I'm in. It helps lower household debt, ensures financial stability.
Thank you everyone for sharing your views on feasibility and collaboration. A key theme that has emerged is that financial education must be continuous and practical rather than treated as a one-time effort. We will now move into the closing segment. I invite each panelist to share their final reflections on today's discussion.
Thank you, Zuno, again. In closing, strengthening financial education from an early stage is essential in equipping Malaysians with the knowledge and skills needed to make informed financial decisions. Continuous and practical financial learning will help build responsible financial habits that last throughout our life.
From the point of view of society, better money management can improve social stability and general well-being. We can reduce financial stress and build a more welcoming culture where people feel empowered to ask for assistance by encouraging candid discussion and encouraging communities.
Thank you guys for your brilliant ideas. From an economic standpoint, a population that is financially knowledgeable and resilient contributes to steady economic progress. When people practice responsible financial behavior, financial risk can be reduced and the overall stability of the nation's economy can be strengthened in the long term.
Thank you, everyone, once again. In conclusion, today's discussion has shown that effective financial management in Malaysia requires alignment between education, social support, and economic policy. As the moderator and financial policy facilitator, I thank all panelists for their valuable contributions. I encourage everyone here to reflect on this insight and explore how they can be applied in their own spheres of influence. This meeting is now concluded. Thank you.